these moments from him. Like, yeah, he is in this upper echelon. Yeah, you can win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott, but it's been almost a decade. I feel like the whole world's having the Dak Prescott debate in this dead
Yeah.
period of the NFL calendar. What do you make of his career? And can he get Dallas to that next level? It's always about that with the Cowboys. Can he get there,
Right, it
or
is, right?
is Dak who he is at this point?
Right. It's you know what, that's so tough to answer, right? Like it sounds like a loaded question almost. Like, can Dak make take a team to the Super Bowl? I do think he can take a team to the Super Bowl. I think he's a leader enough to do so. Um, like just how I thought Tony Romo was a great leader. You know what I'm saying? I just think I don't know. I think there's just so much with the Cowboys organization that goes into what happens and what product gets put on that field. Like it almost sounds like especially when you're a guy, football guy that's been in Dallas and like you covered the team. It almost seems disingenuous to like say that a quarterback is the reason why the team can't make it. You
I
know what I'm
totally
saying?
agree.
Like
It's
if
different
I if
there.
I look at somebody if when people look at me and go like Dak is not good enough to take his team to the Super Bowl, I'm like, well, what quarterback in the NFL can take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl? Tell me. Cause I almost say the same thing, dog. Like, even if Pat Mahomes is the Dallas Cowboys quarterback and just say like Dak was in Kansas City, I say Dak goes to the Super Bowl at least one time and Pat doesn't. Like I can honestly say that because it's different, dog. Like when you look at the organizations, I think we probably had these conversations, bro. Like it's bigger than football in Dallas.
Yes.
It's bigger than football in Dallas. Like you're in a situation to where if you don't go to the Super Bowl, the team or the organization that star is still going to bring in 6 billion a year or whatever they bring in, right? And like they're not really tripping. Whereas other organizations, right? Like a lot of these just like owners out the way, like they're letting the business be the business. It's like if you don't make it, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't make it, like your job is on the line, right? Like it's not like, oh, like what does the Chiefs logo look like, or what does the Eagles logo look like in these stores or across the world globally? It's more so we have to win a Super Bowl. Like we have to go to the Super Bowl.
Yo, he's saying what we all been saying here for many a moons, and Brice Butler do have a point. If you are playing for the Dallas Cowboys, you will be viewed upon differently. The thing is, when you start talking about how this affect the legacy of a player, then that goes down a whole nother angle, right? Now, when he mentioned that if we had Pat Mahomes and if Dak was in Kansas City Chiefs, Dak would have been to the Super Bowl and maybe Pat Mahomes never would have been. Now, granted, those that will be watching this who never played in the National Football League will argue against him and as well as against all of the things that we've been saying. And then, of course, the people will be saying, yeah, these are just Dak apologists. Well, granted, like I said before, coaching plays a major role, not a minor role. Strategy, scheme, and concept plays a major role. And the Cowboys' finite truth to it all always been about the dollar. It always been about the dollar. Let me say this once again. It's always been about the dollar here in Dallas land, nothing else. So when I look at everything and I dissect what Brice Butler is saying, collectively, he's 1,000% right. But in actuality, no one on the opposite end wants to hear this. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And as long as 4 plays for the Cowboys, he'll be spit upon and hated upon. And the Dak fatigue of it all is a major thing. And I think that that's where most people are getting at with the Dak fatigue, because it's been 9.5 seasons, right? 9.5 years. So now you have to quantify the fact where we would have been if it was another quarterback here. It would have been more of the same. It is extremely hard to win when you have an owner like Jerry Jones. Whereas winning is not priority, it's about getting that money, that bag, and how the star can be shined and represented. Now, I'm not going to cut my legs off from under my feet. Not going to do that. I think that Shoddy have a chance to change a lot of things. Now, granted, every year, regardless of the situation, we have the expectations of winning the Super Bowl. Now, I want us to take Super Bowl out the picture and just look at the way this team played for the 2025 season. I want grit. I want us to do two things, and, of course, tenacity and all of that stuff, but I want us to do really two things. Can we run the ball, and can we stop the run? Those are the two things that I want. To anyone and everyone that's out here saying that Dak Prescott can't carry the team by himself, you are 1,000,000% right, and I agree with you. Don't put everything on the shoulders of Dak Prescott. It's been historical data been showing that he can't carry this team by himself. And one can argue no quarterback can carry this team by themselves. It takes a complete team. That's why a team together, everyone achieves more. And we can go look at this and that about other teams and less weapons and less this and less that. But let's be real with it. Either they had something to get them over, whether it's coaching philosophy or whether it's not the owner that's in the way, or they do absolutely have multiple options as it relates to run game and defense. We haven't had that. The last time we had a finite run game that was very movable on the ground, you have to go back to 2018. That's a long time ago, and I'm not beating up Ezekiel, Elijah, Elliott, but ever since Zeke who type of situation in 2019, it's been voided of Zeke being the bell cow of getting positive, great numbers with us. That's what I'm getting at. But I hear the people. I see what y'all are saying. Josh Allen got this and that. Lamar Jackson got this and that. From that chart line, let me see if I can pull it up one more time. Yeah. I'm going to pull this up one more time for your mind. Let me make it. But when you look at this, even this chart line right here, Lamar Jackson probably wouldn't be the same Lamar Jackson here in Dallas. If you think, for example, and I like Joe Burrows. Nothing against Joe Burrows. Joe Burrows wouldn't be Joe Burrows here in Dallas. Why you say that, Law? Because in the last two seasons, they didn't finish going to the postseason, and he was healthy. Can you imagine the 3-ladder to 4-ladder network that will be spitting upon this guy if he can't take his team to the postseason in Dallas land? And keep in mind, they got Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins, but that's a whole nother conversation for the nation. But what I'm getting at is that out of all of this list here, we can go back and forth and talk about this and that, but we know the Cowboys get hate because of the legacy and what we used to bring to the table back in the days, right? But in actuality, it takes a team and it takes a damn good coach, and you got to have all of those things. The Cowboys, Mike McCarthy being a failed head coach. The last time he was successful, 2010. Jason Garrett, 13 seasons, 13 years here. I mean, if Jason Garrett and I apply for a job in the National Football League to be a head coach, we both get the same answer. Wade Phillips, and this is all predates Dak Prescott. I mean, the man is a damn good defensive coordinator, but not head coach material. The last time we had a true situation or a shot at it was Bill Parcells, and then we had to rewind and say to Jimmy Johnson. The only reason why Barry Switzer was able to win is because of Jimmy Johnson philosophy. And remember, Troy Aikman was saying we have to win in spite of the coaching. But neither here nor there. I take what Brice Butler said, you could say with a grain of salt, but I'm taking for what he said more because he absolutely played with the silver and blue on the starting side of the helmet, and he knows the terrain of this team. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's get it. DC for life, not for short. Peace. We about.